I am so grateful that you guys want me to make another one of these. Thank you so much. It is so windy outside. I am trying to do a storytime video. God. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christopher, and today I'm going to be talking about something that actually in another one of my videos I said was nobody else's business, and I thought I was never going to make this video, but some stuff has happened in my life recently where I have realized that that is incredibly selfish, and it is kind of my responsibility to talk about this, especially with a platform like YouTube. So today is going to be my second story time, and once again, thank you guys so much for wanting me to make a second one of these. I'll try my best to keep going if it's something that you guys enjoy. Today's video is going to be about how I came out as gay. So the story starts when I was about 15 years old. My sister and I used to hang out a lot when I used to live with my parents, and she kind of knew everything that was going on in my life all of the time. I didn't hide anything from her. She was like my walking, breathing journal. Like, she knew everything that was going on. And at 15, I was starting to really understand that there was something not so, we'll say, normal. Because that's how I felt about it back then. I felt like there was something that wasn't quite normal about myself. I knew I wasn't straight, but I wasn't sure if I was gay, so I told her the closest to the truth that I could get to at the time, and I told her that I was bisexual. Now I know that that is not true. I know that I am definitely gay, but at the time I wasn't really sure. A large portion of people do identify as bisexual, but for me personally, it was more of a pit stop on the homo highway. I didn't really know how to identify because I didn't know what I was feeling, so I thought that was a safe place to rest while I came to terms with my true identity. She heard that very, very well. She was super supportive. It gave me the confidence to start coming out to my friends at school. In school, when I started to come out, I kept coming out as bi, and even the next year when I was 16, dated a girl for most of the school year. As that year came to an end, though, I became more and more aware that I was not being honest with myself anymore, and I knew I was gay. Like, gay. I'm talking gay. Suddenly my favorite color was pink, my favorite singer was Britney, and I developed an expert eye for interior designing, but unless you were a fan of pink zebra-striped pillows, white shag carpet, and chrome stools against the wall, I probably wasn't that good at it. I think I was just going through a phase where I was so excited to be on my way out of the closet that my fake fabulousness just exploded out of me like a glitter bomb. That, though, started to fade away really, really quickly. I think that's really because although my best friends knew and my sister knew, there were some important people that I hadn't told. My parents. So my home life around this time was challenging. My father and I had a relationship where we emotionally couldn't have been farther apart, and we physically wanted nothing more than to be even farther. So it was really difficult for us to have a conversation, and a conversation like this was not going to happen anytime soon. So at the age of 17, I moved out and started living on my own and became financially independent, which made having boyfriends a lot easier. But that didn't make the lies hurt any less. Like, when my dad would come to pick me up early in the morning for church because I wasn't out of the broom closet either, and my boyfriend would only just be leaving the house, so I'd have to be like,
he worked nearby and he was really drunk last night, so I let him crash on the couch so that he wouldn't be late for work and he'd be able to sleep longer to get rid of his hangover.
It was a decent enough lie, or would have been, if my parents didn't already know him because he was one of my sister's best friends. I want to believe that they bought it, but I know they didn't. I was actually already at the point where I was so tired of lying about it, I almost told them right then and there who he was, but there was just, fear was kind of a big thing at that point, and I was just not ready to confront that fear yet. So I let it go, watched the boy who would break up with me 3 days later, walk away, looking completely disgusted with me. Got into the family car, we drove off to church, and the service that week actually happened to be about how homosexuality was a sin, and about how pagans were going to hell. That was also the last time I ever went to church. Fast forward a couple of years, probably about 3 boyfriends, and a stay in a performing arts school here in my city, which definitely helped build up my self-confidence. I had begun seeing someone who I was really getting some feelings for, and we decided it was time to start living together. And for the sake of this video, I'll call him Joe. At the time, I lived with my sister and her then boyfriend, now fiance, Corey. The fact that they were incredibly understanding did not make our small apartment any bigger, and 4 people had a really hard time living in it. So we moved out, moved downtown. It was like 6 months later, and now there was kind of no way to hide this situation from my parents. During the time that I was with Joe, I worked in a local mall in a place where my mother shopped quite a bit, and she stopped by one day and took me out for lunch, and I loved it. I love getting surprises like that from my family. And we went for lunch in the mall food court, and she sat me down and looked at me, and I kind of knew. Like, it was one of those situations where, and if you've ever gone through this, you know the feeling where you know you're about to be asked the question, and if you haven't gone through this yet, you'll know it when it hits. She looked across the table at me and said, "Who's Joe?" In the span of just a few seconds, I came up with a few different really elaborate lies that probably would have worked, but all I could do was look across the table at the woman who inspired me every day of my life. She's an amazing mother, and I couldn't even stand the idea of lying about it anymore. So I looked at her straight in the face, I tried not to blink, and I said as fast as I could so I could make sure it was like eye to eye and completely honest, I said, "I've been dating him for a year." The color drained out of her face, and I think she had been expecting me to lie, which broke my heart because it meant she knew that I'd been lying for a while. She said to me that the only thing she was concerned about is my life would probably get a little bit difficult, which is such a mom thing to say. Like, she was completely okay, she just wanted me to be safe, and she wanted me to be happy. She stood up and she hugged me and gave me a kiss and like did the mom thing where she told me she still loved me. She went home, she told my dad, which I'm so grateful for, because I don't think I ever would have had the courage to do it, ever. But I'm so happy he got to know before he passed away. I think that probably would have been the biggest regret in my life if he had died without knowing who I was. It was such a fortunate coming out experience. My family treated me with so much respect, and the friends who didn't want that to be a part of their life just vanished, and the people in my life who were okay with it didn't change the way that they treated me at all. It was so wonderful, and I didn't feel like it made me a different person. I felt like it let me be me. But I know that that's not the case for everybody, so I have always been really grateful that I've had such wonderful people surrounding me in my life. And all of that happened when I was 19. So it took 19 years to come out to my parents. But that is it. It's not the most exciting story in the whole wide world, but I think that it's important to make sure that message is out there. A lot of people are really concerned, like I was, that you're not going to be accepted, and it was such a wonderful surprise that I was treated no differently. I was just loved, and I'm grateful every day for it. And if you are watching this and you are struggling with the decision, first know that you have to do it when you're ready. Don't do it for the sake of doing it. If you want to come out and you are in a position where it is safe to do so, then start working toward it. Start thinking about how you would like to do it. One of the things I recommend is tell one person that you feel like you can trust completely, someone who is outside of the home, someone who can just listen to you. Have that support. Don't let anybody pressure you into it. Don't expect the worst, but be prepared for it, because everyone's going to respond to it differently. Alright guys, that is it for today's storytime video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. If you want to follow my other social media, I will leave some links down in the description box. Before you leave, hit that subscribe button, and if you don't want to miss my videos, make sure that you turn on the notifications as well. That is it for today, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.